I think New Japan's obviously like not a great place right now, but I also think like this world is ending mentality is ridiculous.
Yeah. And I'll use this to transition to night two. I think it is honestly detrimental to wrestlers, to the other wrestlers in this company. It is hurting their matches.
Unless
And
it's
I'll
so
say this. I'll say this. The hair versus hair match was not that good. I gave it 3. I thought it was solid. That I could be the high man on that. I don't know. People treated this like the end of the world too.
you're waiting
But
for me to absolutely let loose here, aren't you?
well, I'm setting this up. I'm setting up the idea of how I felt about this match going out of it is Yuya Uemura, very good fundamental wrestler, but beyond that, I've never been excited about Yuya Uemura. People know this. Yota Tsuji, I'm super high on, and I didn't think his performance in here that great. But I'm also thinking to myself, watching this match of 2 months, not 2 months ago, 1 month ago, they had a match at Wrestle Kingdom that everyone said that was a totally fine match. Let me see what I gave that match. Totally fine match. I went 3.25. I went 3 on this hair versus hair. Everyone at the time there said that match was a good foundational match of a rivalry, right? Their next match is this hair versus hair. Granted, it's a big stipulation, so I get there's also that. But everyone is treating this match like this is do or die for New Japan, and that if this match isn't a 5-star classic, then New Japan's dead. And I'm like, what has changed in a month's time for New Japan? Other than
Okada's leaving. That's it.
And because Okada is leaving,
Yeah.
this match now has to live up to insane heights that a month ago was okay just being a 3.25 star match and was a foundational match for 10 years of rivalry and 10 years of storytelling. Here on night 2, on night 2 of New Beginning Sapporo, all of a sudden it's like New Japan's ending because they had a 3-star stinker. What are we talking about here?
So I'll add this because hair versus hair is a very serious concept in Japan comparatively to like the US. So like that aspect is why I was so bothered by it, because there was no seriousness between these two. Like they just had a match. Like if you put this match into the G1, I would have been like, okay. It's like that was the problem for me. Like the fundamentals or whatever, great. Who cares? Like they had a fine match. But I felt like leaving this match and feud, they both lost. If that makes sense. Like, yeah, sure, Yuya Uemura has a new haircut, but they both lost. And I think that's the bad part. I'm in agreement with you. Like, I don't think the world's over for them. I definitely don't think the world's over for them.
I don't
and
think anyone's giving these guys time anymore.
No, everyone's rushing these guys. Like, and I understand it. Like, I partly understand it because you lost Ospreay and Okada, so it's like you don't have time. But as someone that's watching Shota Umino have to lose to Evil all the time, like, listen, he's at least over. So like I accept it. Like this is just part of the build. They're building him up as this super baby face by putting him against House of Torture, and it's working. He gets good reactions. And with these guys, they're trying to build them both up at the same time against each other. And I think both of them will benefit greatly from this New Japan Cup. Like I think they're going to have great matches and stuff.
Yeah.
I am worried about Yuya Uemura though.
Me too.
Like this guy as I said to a friend this weekend, he is closer to Ren Narita than he is to Shota and Yota.
Completely agree.
And that's not a good thing. Not a good thing, because Ren Narita isn't going to get better anytime soon because they've stunted his growth.
He is now opening tag multi-mans.
Yeah, and that's where Yuya Uemura is heading. He has not shown any case of wanting to change his style. He has not shown any form of, you know what, I'm going to grow. I'm watching Shota lap him. And people will look at the Yoda match and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt Yoda until he has his next standout match.
Yeah,
but he's gonna be fine. Like those two are gonna be fine. but man, they're really like hurting. I do want to say this about New Japan. They've done like everything in their power, in my opinion, to hurt both Tsuji and Shota Umino in the past couple months because both of them just keep losing.
Yeah. Oh,
Like I know,
Suji is always lost.
like I know Tsuji won here, but
Mhm.
like it didn't feel like a win. You know, like it didn't
Yeah.
feel like a win.
I get where you're coming from.
And you know, Shota's losing to Evil and
In a match
Evil.
that I thought was worse, by the way.
Right. Well, I agree, but like I didn't expect that match to be good.
Yeah, that's also
Right.
fair.
So
Yeah, and I think that's a big difference
especially
too.
after the show one.
And I think that's the big difference too, is that I both of us think the Evil Shota Umino match is a worse match, but in a weird way, Shota Umino is sort of guarded by this sort
Yeah.
of New Japan fan backlash
Yeah. Because
because
they're gonna cheer for him.
they're going to cheer for him, but
Crowd's gonna
also,
like him
like you
more.
just said, no one was expecting the Evil match to be good.
No. This
Whereas
match had
here,
everything it needed to be good. It was
here in this hair versus hair, people are expecting the next coming of Inoki and the next coming of Okada in this match.
yeah.
And that's the problem. And I think, and ultimately, that is where I take is that no one is willing to give these young guys any more time right now. And I get it.
Yeah.
Things feel dire. People feel like they need to, but they want these guys, like I said, to be the next coming of Okada.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Have we ever compared any of these guys to Okada? At best, we're comparing them to Tanahashi, who is still great, once in a century ace, right? But they're not Okada. They're not Inoki. That's different. That is beyond Tanahashi.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
They don't need to be Okada. You know, like I think you know what this match was for them? This match for those two was what Shota had with Naito a year ago at this very same tour.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The long main event that just does nothing, and it's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like it's the same thing. They're hurt because it's against each other, and the hair versus hair stipulation just ruined them.
Yeah,
like because you guys needed to beat like destroy each other with an inch of your life, and you guys were like arm drag.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, but a lot of those arm drags and headlocks are from Uemura, who
I know
is like great. He's a great fundamentals wrestler, but
I also don't think Tsuji can wrestle 28 minutes or lead a 28-minute match. Like you and me have talked about this. He's better in
sprints,
20 or less right now.
I agree. Yeah,
unless he fights like the Osprey of the world.
Mm-hmm. Who unless he can fight like an Okada, Osprey, Naito, who is has the experience to lead him to those sort of types of matches. He isn't there yet. I think he maybe wants to be there. I wouldn't be shocked if he wants
sure
to.
Does.
But he doesn't have the experience yet, and that's what that is time.
Lord knows Uemura does not.
No, I'm sick and tired of fundamentals wrestler Uemura. I was like, great, a fundamentals wrestler to me is a young lion. That is a fundamentals wrestler.
I'm hoping like the story here for Yuya, and this is just me being like hopeful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is I hope like the idea is he shaves his head and he just changes finally. But I don't have that hope. I don't have that full hope, but that's maybe the idea behind all of this. They're like, all right, you're doing this, and then you're going to like start to be a true real wrestler. But you know.
Yeah. I could see them if they wanted to fix sure, like anybody, obviously like Tanahashi and Shooter is the big comparison. I feel like if anything, like Yuya and Naito is the comparison here potentially of coming in this hot young baby face, doesn't really work out, and then he has to do a massive change to his appearance and to how he is to get to the next level. Maybe that's what it is. Who knows?
That's why we call Tsuji Nakamura.
Mm-hmm. Because he got a big old smile.
That's true. That's true. He does have a big old smile. But like that's why I'm not worried about this Shota. Even after this bad weekend for all three of them, I'm still very confident about Tsuji and Umino because like one of them's getting some of the best pops, and the other one is a charismatic, stud. and
Yeah.
like that's gonna carry him no matter what. Like
Yeah.
patience is good. I think the New Japan Cup is gonna do them a lot of good. I really
I
do.
hope so. I hope so.
They need the right opponents though. Like you can't put Shota in there against another. You can't keep putting this guy against House of Torture. I've been suffering. And like Yota Tsuji needs to face. I don't know. Give him some main event guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Have him face Shingo. Ooh.
Have him face Shingo or Taichi. I think that would do him a lot of good, actually.
Yeah, I guess Taichi would actually make more sense because they would be different factions. But like New Japan Cup, you can get away with that if you did New Japan Cup.
You do both.
You could do both. There we go. Yeah. And Yu Uemura, he's also like brand new. He doesn't even have like a G1 climax under his belt, right? So
Right. So he has leeway still.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know, you and me talked about that last year going into the G1. Like, all right, these guys need to, and they did good. Red. No. But like the other two, you know, we walked out, we were like, good. And then they both had the Osprey matches, and it's like, all right, we're fine.
Yeah. I think ultimately, like everyone just needs to calm down.
Yuya needs a lot.
Yuya needs a lot, but
I'm very worried about him. I'm not going to calm down on him. I'm very worried about him.
I completely get where you're coming from. I am at the point now of Yuya Uemura where I am not into this guy, but I'm not going to make my final determination until post G1 climax.
That's true. I am with you. I think the reason I'm very worried about him is because like everyone was talking this guy up. They're like, "This is the guy. This is the guy." And it's like,
I know, but meanwhile, I'm over here watching him and Joe Hendry tag matches, and I'm like, "Who? This guy is nothing. This guy doesn't have anything."
To be fair, most people decide not to watch those.
Well, that's the problem. You got to get in the trenches with.
You gotta watch Joe Hendry. You heard it here first, everyone. Ryan Nicey, you have to watch it.
And that is why I'm the voice of the tasteless folks. That is why I'm the one sitting here watching Joe Hendry matches. Oh, man.
You believe in Joe Hendry? I get it.
God, I'll tell you what. This much, I don't believe Yuya Uemura.
Damn.
But I digress.
But I digress.